Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the uh, Impact review for the 20th of October, 2020. And this is the go home show for the Bound for Glory pay per view on Saturday. They did some good stuff. I cared about the pay per view no more or no less coming out of this show than I did going in. I do care about the pay per view more than the last few shows they put on, so it's okay. Opening video recap: Rich Swann returning to attack Eric Young as Young was about to break D'Amore's ankle, and EC3 and Moose brawl around. Um, and then so Hernandez defeats Alicia Edwards, Rhino, Heath, and Cousin Jake to win the final spot in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Last week, these individuals won the chance to face each other in a one-fall five-way match for the number 20 spot in the gauntlet. Whoever is pinned or submitted in the match must enter number one. Um, none of the men want to touch Alicia Edwards in terms of wrestling her. She kept trying to interrupt the match and get herself in trouble. This was just stupidly booked, pushing the men to fight her. And then Hernandez gets sick of this. He's about to hit the border toss on her, but Cousin Jake saves her, even though Cousin Jake earlier had almost been ready to hit her. There's just no way. There's no way for this to go well. Hernandez takes Jake out, and then Rhino goes for the gore on Hernandez, and Edwards gets gored. Hernandez uses the distraction to roll up Rhino for the win. He's number 20. Rhino must enter number 1. Match lasts less than 5 minutes. No, nothing good here. Recap video of the story between Moose and EC3, dating back to Moose declaring himself the TNA champion. Jimmy Jacobs has a sit-down interview with Moose. This is fine, I guess. Moose is asked about whether he's happy reclaiming the TNA title. It says he wasn't, and he was worried because he knew EC3 would just he wouldn't stop there and they'd have to deal with him again. Moose stomps out and EC3 kidnap Jacobs and take him away and drive off. This is just goofy. Johnny Bravo preparing for the wedding rehearsal, but instead berates everyone because nothing's ready. I don't know. The good news is they'll do the wedding angle next week, and hopefully this part of all of this will be done. Deonna Purrazzo cuts a really good promo about the Impact Knockout division and being its leader and everything that it's meant to be about. She said at Bound for Glory she's going to show she's the greatest champion of all, compared herself to Kylie Rae, saying that Rae can't handle stress, but she can. Rosemary defeats Havoc, allowing the return of Father James Mitchell, actually his resurrection from the dead, more appropriately. Havoc dominates Rosemary early. Rosemary makes a comeback. Rosemary hits 2 spears. Match was not good. Angle furthered, but that's about it. Video package with 4-way. Feud for the tag championships. Motor City Machine Guns, former champions of the North, Good Brothers, and Ace Austin, Madman Fulton. They promote the Talking Shop comedy pay-per-view of the Good Brothers. Not a fan. Kylie Rae cuts a promo saying Purrazzo calls herself the best technical wrestler in the world, but she's never faced Kylie Rae. Until she did, she wouldn't know if she was the best or not. Rae said that breaking Susie's arm had made this personal, but winning the title was her motivation, not revenge. And she said even after winning the title, this will not be enough to avenge what was done to Susie. So then we move to Jacobs getting taken out of EC3's location. He demands an interview. Jacobs asks what the narrative was. EC3 says he finally found someone he wanted to fight in Moose, but said that he would teach Moose that he needed to become something different. He said he wanted to burn the past along with the TNA World Championship legacy. For that, he needs to beat Moose. It is what it is. So then we move to Sami Callihan defeating Eddie Edwards. I'm not a Callihan fan anymore. I was when he was in NXT. I was before he was in NXT. Him in Impact has just killed him for me. This is the feud that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. I feel like I'm on Lamb Chop's play along. Anyway, Callihan had been orchestrating Ken Shamrock's attacks on Edwards. Callihan claims he's not. He's inside Shamrock's head, and Edwards and Shamrock will wrestle at Bound for Glory. Callihan goes after Edwards pretty early. Goes after the eyes. Edwards finally makes a comeback, gets a near fall with a Frankensteiner and a Blue Thunder Bomb. Strikes and headbutts both men. Edwards goes towards a win, hits a Tiger Bomb and a Boston Knee Party combo. Callihan stops, and Edwards turns the lights off. Shamrock could magically appear, and Callihan wins because of Shamrock's appearance. Another dumb finish. None of this sells the pay-per-view. I've seen nothing other than maybe the Deanna Purrazzo deal and the Rich Swann package sell the pay-per-view, but everything else, the pay-per-view had to have been sold weeks before this. A highlight package of Rohit Raju winning the X Division Championship and how he's been dodging losing the title so far, basically guaranteeing he's going to lose. He's going to defend against Chris Bay, Willie Mack, TJ Peets, Trey Miguel, and Jordana Grace in a six-way scramble at Bound for Glory. Then we see Trey Miguel, TJP, and Willie Mack defeat Raju, Chris Bay, and Jordana Grace. Story of the match is that Raju is the weak link in his own team, even though he's the champion. So the champion's the weakest guy you've got in the division. That makes sense. He is portrayed as the sneakiest. He tries to steal a pin from Bay along the way. This causes dissension within the team, so that, I guess, hypes up the match for the pay-per-view. Why can't we just hype it up based on, I don't know, wins and losses in wrestling? Bay and TJP do work well together. Bay and Mac are okay. Mac is a guy I still wouldn't hire, but he's there, might as well use him. Grace comes in. She does the powerhouse woman gimmick. I'm not sure that I like women and men intermingling with no real huge storyline explaining it. She hits a spinebuster on Mac, and basically Raju is seen as a guy who's going to steal a win from anyone. Bay drops Raju with a springboard cutter, leaving him for Miguel to take the pinfall win over. Then we go to a highlight package hyping both Eric Young and Rich Swann. Giamella sits down with Young for an interview. Young said that he's been warning people not to get in his way. He tried to keep everyone away from him. He said that he's taking control of his career and won't allow anybody else to get in his way or change his pathway. He knows what must be done to Swann to get rid of him and end him once and for all. Swann jumps him and the two brawls into the streets. I guess a good way to get hype on the pay-per-view. North, Ethan Page, Josh Alexander versus Good Brothers, Anderson, Doc Gallows, ends in a no contest. I don't know. there's nothing on this show from a wrestling perspective that makes me go, I need to pay to watch these people wrestle. I guess from a storyline, if you want to give us a cluster show to go, everything points to the pay-per-view and I just wasted 2 hours, they did a good job, but wow. So they finally, Good Brothers and Paige and Alexander finally clash here. Good Brothers are dominantly working over Alexander, double teams and the like. Alexander gets cut off. Anderson gets cut off from his corner. And then North goes on to a series of double teams. Anderson tries comebacks but gets cut off easily. Desperation Spinebuster hot tag. Gallows hits a short run before they go for the Magic Killer. All four men brawl all the way around the ring. Ref calls for no contest because he's lost control of the match. Not a good final segment type pay-per-view. North and Good Brothers keep brawling. Austin, Fulton, and Motor City Machine Guns run down. And then the babyfaces clear the ring. And Anderson and Gallows drop Shelley with a gun stun. All teams eye each other. Show goes off the air. Partridge in a pear tree. Again, not worth seeing. And I went through a 2-hour show in 12 minutes here. This was not a good show. And for a company that is, WWE, AEW, I think ROH is bigger. I think MLW is bigger. So to be like 5th in the country, you need to do something huge if you're going to get pay-per-view mileage out of something, and they did not do that here. Anyway, we'll be back with more right after this.